Hi everybody, I'm Meilani. Nice to meet you all. Thank you for inviting me here today. Thank you for that wonderful introduction, Joe. My new mantra for today that I picked from those printed up on the wall there is I am fearless. And that is because, although I am a Toastmaster as well, I am used to speaking in business settings, and this is not a business setting. So today I am fearless coming up here in a new situation out of my comfort zone. But that's how we grow, isn't it? Happy Father's Day, by the way, to all you dads out there, whether your children have skin or fur or are just the neighborhood kids or even just the people around you that you inspire. I can't say it any better than Kamakea did. It was beautiful. Thank you so much. Okay. Love points the way, and law makes the way possible. This is so true because my subject today is really about how I found the ability to love myself, and once I did that, the law of attraction made everything possible. I came from some bad relationships. I think we've all had that in our life. But the main one lasted 20 years before I freed myself from it. Looking back, however, I see that that was what the universe gave me. It was a blessing. It was the gift that I needed to learn how to get out of my lifelong fear of being alone and not being enough. So when my relationship that started out good turned so bad that I just wanted to get away and be by myself and find peace and quiet, I finally stopped being afraid of being alone with just me. The next one treated me really well, was so romantic, made me swoon, said all the things I wanted to hear. He was a real pro. And unfortunately, that was literal. I found out a couple days after Valentine's Day from a woman he was living with that I was, as she put it, number 2 that she found out about that month, number 15 or 20 that she found out about that year. Whew, glad I got out of that one. Fortunately, it wasn't long into it when I found out about it, so I wasn't destroyed or anything. However, it was another gift and blessing from the universe. It was that straw that put me over the edge to the point where I started to get in touch with Source and my inner being. It was after that experience that I first heard the voice of Source, and I mean this literally, not metaphorically, like a voice whispering in my ear. And what it said to me was, you need someone to love you because you don't love yourself. You need someone to love you because you don't love yourself. Wow, that was quite the revelation. After which I did what any normal American person would do. I went to YouTube, and there I found many wonderful teachers, all the great spiritual teachers, and I started listening to their teachings on how to love myself and how to manifest what I wanted. And the first one that I heard was a presentation by a guy named Dr. Joe Dispenza, and it was 2 hours long, and I thought, oh, I'll just listen while I'm working. Half hour into it, I stopped everything. I was so mesmerized by what he was saying. And why he was attractive to me was because he came from the viewpoint of neuroscience. He explained how the brain works, how it forms those pathways, how the brain and the body work together, and the thoughts that we have, what happens in our bodies as a result of our thoughts and our feelings. And that was what I needed to open the door of allowance and understanding for me, because I used to be one of those people that just poo-pooed the foo-foo. I was definitely on the poo-poo the foo-foo spectrum. So his science-based explanations really did it for me and allowed me to open up to be the kind of person who now embraces the foo-foo. That foo-foo embracing person next found Abraham Hicks. Found a lot of people, but Abraham was the one that really resonated with me, whose stories and metaphors I could really relate to, and whose teachings sunk into me. And what I loved about Abraham was that, being a practical girl, I like having steps and worksheets and exercises that will actually teach me how to do those changes in my thought patterns, in those habits that had been formed over so many years. And Abraham gave me actual exercises that I could do to help me change those thought patterns. And I was diligent. I learned how to do it, and I did it. And I learned how to stop beating myself up. I learned how to congratulate myself more, pat myself on the back for those successes. I learned to give myself a break and be as kind to myself as I was to those around me, because we are all so much harder on ourselves naturally than we are on those around us. And I learned how to love myself and how to stop living in fear. I learned how to be happy. Love points the way, and law makes the way possible. Once I learned how to love, I learned more about the law of attraction and how so many wonderful things have been manifesting in my life, and I learned to recognize it. I manifested the home that I love so much, where I am now, in this wonderful community that I live now. I manifested being around all the people that I really want to be around. And the more I learned about the law of attraction as a marketing consultant, the more I realized how much of a match made in heaven marketing and law of attraction really are. Because marketing says, step number one is you identify your target audience. I manifested the best gig working at Coachella Valley Women's Business Center as a marketing consultant to women who were starting their businesses. And one thing that I noticed again and again is that when we got to the work on your target audience part, their audiences they were targeting were not necessarily the audiences that brought them the most joy to work with, right? So for example, there were people who were leaving the corporate environment because it was too stiff, too many rules, not enough foo-foo for them, right? So they would go to start their own business, and then they would write all their stuff in corporate speak. And what is the corporate speak going to attract? The corporate people they were trying to get away from, right? So marketing says, create your client profile, but law of attraction says, who is it you want to work with? What are the jobs you want to do? Incorporate that into it. Speak in your own voice. You don't need to speak in corporate speak anymore. This is why you left the corporate life. Speak in your own voice. And if your voice is foo-foo, then embrace the foo-foo. Because there are other people out there like you who embrace what you embrace and think and feel how you feel. And you will attract your tribe by speaking in your language, which is also their language. So, rule number 2 in marketing is, after you identify your audience, then you find out what makes them tick. And when they were identifying the audience and what makes them tick, again, they were listing all these people that they didn't really want to work with, but they thought they should, because it would be the easiest one to make a sale to, or the easiest, way to get that job they wanted. And as I started infusing law of attraction principles in with the marketing, it became more about, yes, you look at your client and you see what makes them tick, but do more of the looking at the clients you want to work with, who give you joy to be around. And does it work? I think it does, because once I started doing this, the people that were coming to me through CVWBC, who were kind of very conservative, I started seeing a shift. And more people were coming to me who actually heard of Abraham Hicks, who actually heard of this power of positive thinking stuff, and who really were buying into it, but they weren't incorporating it. And then they started incorporating it, and seeing those faces and the joy that they got from seeing that I can do both was really gratifying to me. Does it work? I think it does. Last time I went to a chamber mixer, I met Trisha. And that was wonderful. This was different than the people I normally meet at mixers. And she told me about the Center for Spiritual Living. And she then came to see me speak at the artist group, this local artist group. And then she invited me to speak here. And now I've got to meet all of you wonderful people. So yeah, it works. It works. Also, the whole loving yourself thing. You've got to love yourself, because if you don't value yourself, how can other people value you as well? They take their cues from you. You're all looking up at me here as the speaker, and you're taking your cues from me. And if I was up here going, I don't know if I can do this, gosh, I don't know if I should be here, then you would look at me and be like, I'm not sure she should be here. But if I come up here with confidence, if I repeat the mantra, I am fearless today, then you look at me as a figure of authority who actually knows what she's talking about, whether I do or not, because that is what I'm exuding. I had some worksheets. Unfortunately, I don't think they're here, but that's okay. I can still go over them. They're easy exercises that you can kind of do in your mind. And I'll just do those real quickly before closing. So the worksheet, and then what I'll do is I'll email it to the center, and they can email it to all of you with the newsletter maybe. Okay, so this is my positive vibes for today, daily intention setting worksheet, because I think I mentioned I'm a practical girl, and I like those practical worksheets. Exercise number 1, today I am appreciating. Write a minimum of 3 things, but keep going as long as you can, of all the things that you're appreciating today. For me, it's often my morning coffee or tea with my yummy vanilla flavored protein supplement. Oh, I just love that first cup of the day, and it tastes so yummy and it gets me going. It's waking up in a doggy love pile with my dogs just cuddling on me, giving me love, because how can a day possibly be bad when they are just so happy to see me as soon as I open my eyes and giving me love. Today it's being up here and meeting all of you in this community, living in this community, my house. Again, I just love it here so much. Everybody I've met up here is wonderful. The next exercise, and the reason for that being the first exercise is because by the time that you are done listing all these things that you're appreciating and grateful for, you can't help but be smiling, because you're thinking about things that make you happy. So you've raised your vibration and you've put yourself in a positive thinking mode. And it's from that space where you can really kind of get your day set and set your intentions. The next exercise starts with, today I will feel. How do you want to feel today? You have the power to create your reality. You have the power to choose whether you want to feel happy today or you don't. And I don't think anybody's going to write, today I want to feel down and depressed. Today I want to feel happy. I want to feel joyful. When I first started doing this worksheet, I was challenged with anxiety and depression, which I no longer have. But I would write things like, today I will feel calm. Today I invite peace. Today I just want to feel safe and secure. And as time went on, It would turn into more business things, like today I will feel accomplished. Today I will feel efficient. Today I will feel happy about how much I've completed. And I think that's important because a lot of my clients, when I say, what did you do this week? What did you get done? They would answer the question by telling me, well, I didn't do this, and I didn't do this, and I didn't do this that I meant to do. And I would stop them and say, wait, that's not what I asked you. What I asked you is, what did you do? And they would have to stop and think about it, because the habit was, I didn't do this, I didn't do this. But when they stopped and thought about it, they listed, I did this, and I got this done, and I got this, and I made them write it all down on a list. And by the end, the list was this long, and they were like, wow, I didn't realize I had done all that. And they went from thinking about everything they didn't accomplish to acknowledging everything that they had accomplished. So, today I will feel is the second exercise. The third is, today my laser focus will be. Again, it's a long list of things that we have, and it's not just business, it's personal too. And a lot of times we have a list of so many things that we get overwhelmed by it all. We look at the whole list and we think, So today my laser focus will be, just pick 1 or 2, maximum of 3 things that you want your laser focus to be. And it's an exercise in focusing your mind, focusing your thoughts, clearing out all the clutter and chatter, that tape that plays in your mind of all the things that you need to do, and the stress that comes from feeling like you're not doing it all. So stop thinking of all the things, pick just 1 or 2. Today, my laser focus. The next one is, today I ask the universe to provide. And this is an exercise in letting go of the rest. Again, stopping that chatter in your mind, focusing just on what you want to get done, and then saying, universe, God, whoever you are, whatever you believe in, please, here's what I need. And write down some of those other things in that long list, and you'll be surprised, or maybe this group won't be surprised, at how many of those things happen somehow automatically by themselves by the end of that day. And it's an exercise in letting go and letting yourself be at peace, so that you can have the laser focus to focus on just what you want to accomplish for real that day. And then the last exercise, today it is my intent to. And that is an open question, and it just depends on where you are in life. Mine started out with, today it is my intent to stop being in fear. Today it is my intent to be peaceful. Today is my intent to just get through the day. And as time progressed, today it is my intent to be joyful. Today it is my intent to be happy. Today it is my intent to manifest new people to meet. Today it is my intention to finish project blah, blah, blah for client blah, blah, blah. It can be anything you want, but it is setting your intention for the day, getting yourself to focus on what you need to focus on, putting yourself into that positive mindset so that you can do it, and stopping all that other extra clutter and releasing it to the world so that you can live in peace and joy. Once again, what was that quote? Love points the way, and law makes the way possible. Thank you, Joe.